Thanks, guys, and now I want to open it up to questions from the audience, if we can do that. I think we have some. I see one over here and one over here in the back. Good, yeah, project loudly and I'll repeat the question.
I'm the one who's been loud the whole time. My question is, okay, I get that I won't need to see the series. Will seeing this movie actually take away from going back and watching the series later?
No,
that was a great question. Did you guys hear the question? Yeah. Okay,
that's my plan.
this gentleman right here says that he has not seen the X-Files series, but is planning to see the film, and will seeing the film somehow take away from the experience of going back to the TV show.
Should we plant him here in the audience?
Your check is on the way.
If I get the money to buy the show, or
I actually think that it'll make you want to go and watch the TV series. I think that's the effect that it will have. And I'm not just hoping. I think that you will wonder what you missed.
Well, you guys probably have to think about that. There is going to be some percentage of the audience for this film that's in that group, definitely, right?
Yeah, I keep telling this story, but it's true. I had a chance to spend time at a university near where I live, and I did a 3-month fellowship, and I was around a lot of college students, and 19, 20, 21-year-old students, and they asked me what I do, and I told them, and they looked at me and said, yeah, I think my parents watched that. and it's like, okay, you make me feel old, but I realized that what it was is that they were 4 and 5 and 6 years old when the show came out 16 years ago, so unless they were completely, there's no parental supervision on their home, they weren't watching the X-Files.
You guys are not into Star Trek territory yet, but what we are maybe talking about multiple generations of viewers here, yes. We have a question back here, yes, sir.
Who do you think the characters of Mulder and Scully would vote for in the 2008 presidential?
The question was, who would Mulder and Scully vote for in the 2008 presidential?
Mulder would vote for Dennis Kucinich. And Scully's still disappointed by Hillary.
That was a great answer right there in the back.
Favorite episodes from the seasons?
Favorite episodes she's asking about from the season.
Is that what you said? It's favorite episodes?
Well, as it happens, Fox did release a DVD. It comes with a free movie ticket even. No, but that was the point of that DVD, was for people like you, like, how do I start? And it's got eight of the best episodes.
That's a great idea. Well, right here in the back.
Would ever see X-Files Next Generation? Or?
A new series, that's the question.
My wife is in the audience, so I'm going to say no.
Do you guys have any plans to work in television in any other mode?
Yeah, I know Frank is. He's actually active in television right now. I have a couple ideas. If I could do those ideas in a way that gave me freedom, I would do them, but I would not do them in the same way that I did the X-Files, which just took way too labor intensive.
I still lament the passing of Harsh Realm, speaking personally.
Thank you very much.
I don't know if there are any other fans of Harsh Realm out there, but yes, of course. Okay. Right here in front.
A lot of people are wondering what the exact length of the movie is, and it's no one seems to know.
The running time of the film in minutes.
1 hour and 45 minutes.
Let's see, right there. Yes.
My question is that at the end of the 6th season, you talk about opening a new mythology about the search for God and equating it to the search for aliens. And obviously, like from the trailer, it seems like there's also a religious undertone. And Mulder's journey seems very spiritual, so I'm wondering what you were trying to say with all of that.
The question is about the search for God, right at the end of the 6th season, that perhaps was an alternate mythology that ran alongside this, the question of aliens?
I think when I think of the show, and this actually is something that sort of came to me when I was taking time away from the show when the show ended, I actually realized that Mulder's quest was a kind of religious quest, and it had parallels, and it could be considered to be a search for meaning and a search for the search for truth as a religious quest. And so that's what I said, what I was trying to say. And so if you saw that in this series, I think I was feeling that during, certainly after the movie, I started feeling that. And there's actually an episode that I did in season 9, and it's an underappreciated episode, but it started for Reynolds as God. And I think you can see somewhat of a crystallization of those ideas in that episode if you can follow it.
I think for me, especially from season 5 on, it became very clear that the search for UFOs is a lot like trying to prove God exists. And Chris wrote a scene in an episode called Gethsemane, where Mulder and Scully had an argument about this very thing on the stairs. And it's always been one of the touchstones for me in thinking about alien mythology. And this movie has nothing to do with aliens, but it does have to do with faith. You're absolutely right, which is why it's called I Want to Believe. And what's interesting is that Chris is a person of faith, and I am not, religious faith anyway. And we actually, that was the hardest part about this movie, was agreeing what the story should be. And so after you've seen it, that'll make more sense.
Isn't one of the fundamental tensions between the two characters? It always seems to me like it's a debate about faith versus skepticism between the two of them on almost every conversation that they have.
It is, and then there's a built-in conflict with each character because Scully's a scientist, yet she's sort of that crossroads. She's a Catholic, so they have built-in conflicts. Mulder is not a religious person yet. He's got this sort of religious quest.
Right. Somebody that I'm missing over here? Okay, yes, please.
How was I inspired to make the X-Files? I'll give you the practical answer was that I was under contract to 20th Century Fox, and they said, we won't pay you unless you come up with a good idea. But the truth is, I was when I was growing up, there were lots of scary shows on TV. There were Twilight Zone and The Outer Limits. You may not have heard of these shows. And there was Night Gallery, and there was something called Kolchak the Night Star.
Yes.
There were two 2-hour movies. You can actually still get them by the DVDs. You go down to your local video store and get the DVDs. One's called The Night Stalker, one's called The Night Strangler. They're really scary. I love those shows, and those inspired me to write something like The X-Files, which has other inspirations too, some of those other shows I talked about. But if you also look at the show and you realize when it came out, you'll see that Agent Scully has somewhat of a, I call it, resemblance to Clarice Starling in Silence of the Lambs.
Don't go see that movie.
A few years, yeah, on that one. Let's see, right here in the middle, sir.
I was wondering, what's it like to bounce from the film industry and back to the TV industry, back and forth, whether or not, like, what the pros and cons of each industries, and if you prefer one over the other?
Bouncing from the film industry to the TV industry and back again.
I like to say TV is too much of a good thing. Because, it's hard to get anything made, but a TV, once they give you the yes, you pretty much get to go. You make a lot. And the film industry is very, very hard to get the yes. And but then once you get it, you're just doing one movie. And that was sort of the wonderful luxury of this, just being able to focus on one story for over a year. So it'd be nice if the movie business operated more like the TV business in the perfect world. But that's why I like to go back and forth between the two, because I think I'd go crazy if I was just doing one.